Hi everyone, Sabrina here with a book review. I have finished Jade City by Fonda Lee. This is a massive book, the first in a trilogy, I believe. The sequel, Jade War, is already out and I need to get my hands on it ASAP. Yes, it's one of those books. I'm going to start off with the obvious. This book is being compared to The Godfather. Please don't do that. Just don't, okay? Fed up of this. It is not The Godfather. Alright, the only similarity it possibly has is that it follows a family of criminals who run a city. That's it. And I'm sorry, those groups of people exist everywhere around the world, not just The Godfather. So tough. Jade City follows a family who run the No Peak clan on a small island that deals mainly with the extraction of jade. And jade in this world can be worn by certain people who end up being called greenbones. Greenbones are able to deflect weapons, punches, they can make themselves lighter so they can jump further, they have enhanced strength, they have healing abilities. So jade's pretty cool if you're a greenbone. If you're not a greenbone, then life is kind of a little sucky. Because if you're a jade wearer, you're at the top of the chain. If you're not, you're down the bottom of the chain, which, you know, is looked at a little bit in Jade City. We do follow a young lad who wants the power of a jade stone, but because he's not of the right group of people, he will never have that. And he gets a taste for it, and it's like a drug. He wants more. And I think jade in this world is very much a representation of addiction. It can become a problem. We do see the dangers of jade and what they can do to people, that they can cause madness and the itches, as it's called, and basically people kill themselves over this stuff. So there is that. We also have a little bit of an introduction to the Mountain Clan, which is like the other biggest clan on this island. There are other clans, but we don't really know much about them. We focus on No Peak and the Mountain Clan and their conflict. And it is a constant struggle between the ownership of certain parts of the city, on who's allowed to do what, and it's very much a political dance between these two clans to vaguely keep the peace. There's only been peace on this island for about one generation at the most, and it's still quite a tenuous peace, and the outside world views these jade users with some suspicion and envy, and of course want their own version of jade. So that's the basic setup. We focus on key characters within the family, one being Shay, who I love. Shay starts off at the very beginning of this book returning to the island. She left her family, she left her jade, and went and sought her own way in the world. And she's forced back. And I really like her because she's kind of like, I want to be forging my own path. I don't want to be restricted by the expectations and traditions of my clan and my family. And I like her for stepping out and doing her thing, regardless of the fact that it's sort of ostracized her from her family and the people that she cares about the most. So I like Shay a lot. She's not perfect by a long shot. In fact, none of the characters in this book are perfect. They are all flawed individuals. They make stupid mistakes. They make rash decisions that have horrific consequences down the line. And I think that was really clever of Fonda Lee not to give us the perfect family. They're not perfect. They bicker, they argue, they don't like each other. There's resentment. A lot of it comes because of this structure. It was quite interesting to read all these characters and sort of understand how they all fitted together and how they become the way that they were. I really enjoyed that. Obviously this is the first in a trilogy, and as I said, the sequel Jade War is already out, so you can guarantee that things are not going to go great in this book. Yeah, there's some pretty horrific nasty stuff going on in here. Trigger warning for graphic violence. A lot of it is off screen, but you do see the consequences of the violence, and to be honest, my imagination is horrible to me sometimes. I don't need to see or read something to know what happened. My imagination will quite happily fill in the gaps, and that's what Fonda Lee has done. She's left us to fill in the gaps. Be aware, some of it is horrific. So there is that. There's also drug abuse in here and drug dependency, so if that is a trigger for you, be aware that obviously that is part of this story. But it is really well told. I didn't think I was going to like this when I started it. I was kind of like a bit, okay, I don't really like these people, and I'm not quite sure, and there's a lot of political build-up, but the way that Fonda Lee has unravelled all this politics and unwrapped her story, as it were, it's really accessible. And before I knew it, I was flying through this book and actually really engaged and really rooting for the No Peak family. I wanted them to be okay. I cared for them. Even the foul ones, I cared for them quite a lot, which, you know, I shouldn't really be caring for a criminal organisation, but I was. They were nice people, they were decent people, they were trying to do the right thing, trying to ensure that compassion won out and, you know, that their people would be safe. So I really enjoyed it. It is a bit of a tome. I mean, this is quite a big book, you know, as you can see. It's quite a biggie, it's quite a thickie, and the sequel is no skinnier either. So you know, this was heavy on the bus, it really was. But I got through this in quite a few days. It's brilliantly written, very accessible. Like I say, we have several different points of view that we do bounce between, but at no point was I ever lost because it was really clear who I was following. And it was just engaging. I just wanted to know what was going to happen next. Even though I kind of saw what was going to happen, I wanted to know as well. I feel like Kate Blanchett here. I want to know. I want to know. I highly recommend this book. It's one that if you don't get it by 20 pages, keep going. Get to the 50 pages mark and I swear you will be hooked. It is very cleverly written. It is a very good look at politics and loyalty and family above everything else, and how power can corrupt even the best of people. There is an awful lot going in this book that you don't even realise when you're reading it. It's when you look back and go, oh yeah, that was about that, that was about that. So there is a lot of conversations to be had from this book, and I really enjoyed it. I can't recommend it enough. Jade City by Fonda Lee. Have you read it? If you have, spoiler-free comments down below, please, because obviously not everybody has read this book. And yeah, I will be picking up Jade War as soon as I can. I'm hoping my library's got a copy of it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to go and buy this series, full stop. I think my only gripe is I kind of wish the covers were a little prettier. You know, you know what I'm like. I like my covers. I mean, these are very striking, but they're not pretty. Right, as usual, in the description box down below are my social media links. You can find me on Goodreads, Twitter and Instagram. And there is also the link to the Social Bubble magazine, which is all about the book community. Please go and check that out as well. So that's fun and free and online. There are also links to Booktubers that I think you should go and check out, because I'm trying to destroy the YouTube algorithm. But guys, I can't do it by myself. Please help me. As always, thank you very much for watching and happy reading. Be well.